Test one, two, test. Pineapple. Pineapple. All right, how's it sound?
Perfect.
Perfect pineapple. All right. Ready when you are, sir.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
All right. So, should we start this with like and subscribe?
Yeah, we wait till the end. We wait till we're like 2 hours in and
Every time.
hope that somebody's still watching. We've got this thing where we do like really good views on one episode and we get all excited, and then the next episode has like 17 views, and then 3 or 4 episodes later we'll get hundreds of views, and then like 10 views. So if you're
Yeah,
watching,
but no, but our followers aren't growing.
no, the subscribers are definitely not growing.
We need more subscribers.
I'm still shocked anybody that doesn't know us is watching this, but we had 1,000 on 2 episodes ago. I have no
That's
clue
true.
how. So I think you're paying like a bot farm in India or something to watch our show on YouTube, I think.
If there was a way, I would
Yeah.
probably do
Oh,
it.
there is a
Yeah.
way. I think you can like buy clicks or buy views somehow.
Oh,
I'm just not
oh,
spending money on this. So
yeah,
yeah.
that seems a little too out of
Yeah,
our element at this point. But
it does. But dude, would you agree that it feels like there's been a shift when it comes to Trump over the past 10 days, 2 weeks maybe?
oh my gosh, I mean, I don't know. He hasn't really. I haven't seen a lot of interviews with him.
He's not saying
I
much.
don't know.
Even on Twitter today, he's not, or I guess Truth Social, he's not saying a lot. But like, if you just look at the vibe of how people feel about Trump, like I feel like the dam is kind of breaking, and so
The,
something could happen to reverse all this easily. But like
yeah.
the bro podcasts, the late night shows, whew, South
Well,
Park
dude, he's trying. He's trying everything in his power to get his power back, right?
to
Because he's losing
control
power.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he wants to send Obama to jail. We covered that last time, which
We're
was
gonna we're gonna talk more about that tonight because I read through what
okay.
Tulsi. This is coming up later, but I read through what Tulsi released. Man, I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, she's a scam artist.
But even
What
his
did he do today? Oh, he was with that Jerome Powell today.
oh my God, when he tried to
That
say,
was
"Well, now you're up to $3 billion," and Powell was like shaking his head, and then
yeah,
he pulls out a piece of paper, and Powell's like, "Let me see that." And he goes, "Oh, well, you added an extra building onto here. That's not
yeah.
part of this." And Trump's just like,
And
"Oh,
Trump was like, "Well, that's part of the whole thing, the
yeah,
buildings." And he's like, "That was 5 years ago. We already built that."
yeah." It was pretty
Right in
pretty
front of his face.
comical,
And then South Park, holy
dude.
moly.
All right, hold on. Before we say anything, I got so much. I could talk for all night about South Park. But real quick, Trump's polling has been going in the wrong direction. And it seems like every time Gallup does a new poll, he drops 2 or 3%. Right now, his approval rating is 37%. His all time low was in his first presidency, his first term, and that was 34%. So he's only 3 points away from his all time low. Um,
Okay.
Real quick, 55% of Americans say we are already in a recession. 64% say the economy is getting worse. 70% say Trump has not done enough on prices. I would say he hasn't done anything on prices.
Zero. Yeah. We covered that
62,
last
62% say his policies raise prices. I'm surprised it's that low.
time.
So
Whoa.
polling is looking bad for Trump at the moment, and he's not above 50% on anything. Even on immigration, he's at like 45%, I think.
Oh,
So
I mean,
nothing.
have you seen what's going on? Like, I can't believe there's any more ICE agents left. Like, the amount of PR that's going
Yeah,
on with that organization is horrible. I mean, they are torturing people, not just in Alligator Alcatraz. They're torturing people in other
yeah.
like holding facilities, which is insane. We have become a third world nation, a banana republic at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I don't know what we are because we're not a third world. That's a different thing. But we're
We
and
treat our citizens
so
like third world nations treat
I
their
think
citizens.
the word that I'm going to say for that, I don't know if this is dictionary correct, but we've become an authoritarian dictatorship. Was that right?
Yeah.
Authoritarian, something. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's when you start just jailing your political opponents and persecution of certain groups. So
Dude,
that's where we're at.
today, I think it was today or yesterday, the EPA came out and said that um air pollution isn't harming citizens.
Yeah, they're stripping all kinds of stuff like with the
They're just
environment and
like
EPA. Yeah.
completely taking science and saying, no, I think science is just wrong. Like, throw science away and let's just what do we think? What do we think it should be? What makes us look good? Let's just put that in there.
We're like a week or two away from seeing a report that like it turns out carbon emissions are good for the environment. Like that'll
Yeah,
be the
yeah,
next thing we see.
yeah.
Real quick, we got to talk about South Park. I want to get this out of the way. I knew that there was a new season of South Park coming, and I'd seen a couple trailers for it, and I saw that it appeared that like Randy Marsh was going to be kind of the Elon character. There was a clip where he's like, "Don't worry, honey, I'm just going to do some ketamine and screw around with the government or something like that." So I was like, they're going to talk about Elon. This will be good. The last time Trump was in office, they did Mr. Garrison as a Trump-like figure. They never called him Trump. It almost
Right.
seemed like they kind of didn't want to fully go after Trump. Like
No, I feel like they really made Mr. Garrison Trump without calling him Trump.
they
Like
did it.
they put the orange paint on him. They
They
did,
did.
yeah.
But this time, dude, at the very beginning of the episode, and last night I talked to you at one point and I was like, I'm going to bed. And I went and got in my bed, pulled up Twitter and looked, and I saw a clip that I hadn't seen before of South Park, and it was making fun of Trump, and I was just like, holy, the new South Park must have come out. So I got back out of bed, went and watched, and I called you not 3 minutes into it, and I was like,
Yeah. No, you
dude, like,
texted me like 6 clips. You
oh,
just like,
I was
look at this, watch this. And then we got on the phone and you were like, hey, this guy's like showing the whole thing on YouTube, like watch it. And
yeah,
so I did. I watched the whole thing
it
and
was so good.
I was laughing my butt off, man. It was so funny.
So I encourage anybody that wants to go watch this. The way that they used to do Saddam Hussein, where they like did a picture of Saddam Hussein's face and then made it talk, and the
Uh-huh.
relationship with Satan, they brought all that back. It was a real Trump this time. It turns out Garrison is not president; it's really Trump. He's having a relationship with Satan. Um,
Well, what did we used to call Saddam Hussein?
I don't know. What did we call
What
him?
did George W. Bush call him?
I
An
don't
evil
know.
dictator.
Oh, an evil, yeah, and that's what they did refer to him as that in the episode.
Uh-huh.
The running gag the whole episode was that Trump has a teeny tiny penis. I
Yeah.
hope the algorithm doesn't take us down for that. But that was the gag the whole time. He gets in bed with Satan.
That's so good.
He's naked and it's very small, and even Satan is like, it's so small I can't even see it. At the end, the whole episode's great, but the gist of it is that he sues the city of South Park. He's suing everybody in this episode. But he sues the city of South Park, and part of the settlement is that they have to do a pro-Trump PSA. So the guys from South Park did an AI version of Trump walking through the desert, and I have no clue how this was allowed to be on Comedy Central, but
Is that what it was, an AI version? Did
it was
they?
AI, supposedly. That's what
Okay.
I've read today. But at the
Okay.
end, he's walking through the desert, stripping his clothes. It's a more overweight Trump than Trump really is in real life. But he's stripping down his
Probably
clothes.
not. Actually, probably not.
Probably, I don't know.
He's very overweight.
Apparently, he does the tailoring of his suits. He does very well to kind of protect,
Yeah.
hide
Ever
his
seen him in
body.
his golf whites?
That's true. Anyhow, at the end, he like passes out in the desert, and then his little member sticks its head up, and it's got like cartoon
Googly
eyes
eyes.
and mouth, and it says something inspirational. Trump gets back up, and the final thing the narrator like says is Donald Trump. He's got a teeny tiny penis, but a lot of love for Americans, or something along those lines. I was crying.
Yeah, it's good. It's so
I
good. I
and
can't
I,
stop watching it. Like there's just clips all over
dude,
YouTube all day long, and like I just haven't stopped.
one of the questions you asked when I was talking to you about this last night was you were like, yeah, but like, is this going to make a dent? Does anybody really watch South Park? And I told you, I was like, dude, I was like, this is going to be on the news tomorrow. And it was.
Yeah.
Even Jake Tapper had it on his show today. Apparently, a reporter for, I can't remember if it was Axios, a reporter for somebody texted a source in the White House and said, hey, are these clips making their way through the White House today? And the unnamed person was like, oh, yeah, like everybody is sending these around. So everybody in the White House is getting a kick out of it. Trump, I don't think Trump has said anything about it yet. The White House released an official statement where they said, like, this is a third-rate show that hasn't been relevant in 20 years, trying to cling on to some sense of relevancy or blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
Dude, they they are heroes on the left right now. And the thing I tell everybody though, like they'll make fun of anyone. Like they made
Yeah.
fun of Obama. I don't know if they ever made fun of Biden. They kind of took a hiatus during the Biden years, but like
Yeah.
throughout the time they've been on the air, they will make fun of the left and the right, whoever deserves it. The best part of it was their take on 60 Minutes, where 60 Minutes was having to cover like an anti-Trump protest, and they were like, "Oh, geez, so these people they're protesting. I don't know why they would. President Trump is a great guy. I don't
Yeah,
agree with
yeah,
these
yeah.
people. They're afraid of getting sued.
Just totally.
So, and then the funny part about this is Trey Parker and Matt Stone. So Comedy Central is owned by Paramount. Paramount's who owns CBS, who just settled this lawsuit with Trump and fired Stephen Colbert. So Trey Parker and Matt Stone just signed a $1.5 billion 5-year deal with Paramount. And
Holy
it was
moly.
for 10 new episodes a year for 5 years, so 50 episodes total, plus 5 years of streaming rights to stream South Park on Paramount. They signed that deal like 6 days before this went on the air. So they signed the deal and then went and put this on. And they were talking crap about Paramount. People are wondering if this is going to somehow derail the merger. And Trump very well is probably going to go back to them and say, "Hey, now you got to give me." He's going to want something out of it. He's going to try to use this as leverage. I,
Maybe.
I don't think Trey Parker and Matt Stone give a flying F. Like
No.
they went so
No.
hard in the paint.
Any media organization would pick them up and pay them that $1.5 billion.
That's the thing is somebody said that all that Paramount could really do right now to punish them is they still have to pay them the 1.5 billion. Like they have to pay them that so they could
Yeah.
basically not air any future new shows and refuse to
Yeah.
put the old ones on. But that would hurt themselves. Like that Paramount would be hated if they did that. If they basically made it to where nobody could watch South Park going forward, it's not you can't stream it. You can't. There's no new
Yeah.
ones. Like, but
Have you ever seen how they make their episodes?
it's like in 6 days or something like that. It's like within a
Yeah,
week.
they just
yeah.
like they crank it out and like it is ready by the
Dude,
time
they
it
mentioned
airs.
they mentioned Colbert getting fired, and then the other backdrop to the whole thing was bringing Jesus back into the schools, and like literally, if you've seen South Park, there is a character of Jesus, and he was literally in the schools. Um,
Yeah.
it was great, and that's part of the overall kind of the dam is breaking, the vibe is shifting on Trump. I didn't pull any clips from South Park because apparently Comedy Central and whatnot are quick to either sue or tell people to pull stuff down.
Yeah.
So I'll just
Well,
say
they just paid Matt and Trey 1.5 billion.
yes. Oh God. If you at the end of the episode, there was a website that was called "He Trumped Us." What was it called? He Trumped Us. Let me see if this is it. Yeah.
But
So if you go to hetrumpedus.com, it's a website that just has that PSA at the end of Trump walking through the desert. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, I strongly recommend you to go to hetrumpedus.com and watch this PSA. It's hysterical.
look at Trump's little penis.
God, the whole episode, the whole episode was about Trump having a tiny penis. Like they were just going,
Oh, good.
what is it the kids say? Like full send? Like it was a full send. Like
Oh yeah.
they went for it.
Oh, hard to pay, man.
Yep,
They
hard
hammered him.
sell.
They hammered
So
Trump hard, and he deserves it. And I'm gonna say that he just deserves it 100%.
yeah.
And I hope more people speak out like them.
Oh,
I hope this opens up the floodgates for everybody to just like hammer Trump into the ground because he's on a weak point right now. Like he's trying to juggle the Epstein thing and Israel and murdering children and what else has he got going on?
a lot going on.
Inflation and tariffs and like he's got all these like things that are not none of them are going his
And
way.
also his attack on free speech, his attack on the First Amendment, which there were a lot of people, Trump, Rogan, the whole bro podcast that were, oh, Trump's going to protect free speech. And he's suing anybody that dares say anything bad about him.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, I got a couple different clips, but this first one was kind of this is part of the whole the dam is breaking. Stephen Colbert got fired. A lot of the media stuck up for Stephen Colbert and was basically saying this isn't cool. I got a little compilation I put together of this is Colbert's response to Donald Trump because Donald Trump tweeted that he's very happy that Colbert got kicked off the air or whatever.
Yeah, but let's apparently that whole show was $40 million underwater.
Also, all the late night shows lose money. Like that's they're what's called a loss leader. So none of the late night shows bring in revenue.
Okay.
Yeah. So but you're true. It was losing money. But again, Kimmel, Fallon, they're all losing money. Late night doesn't make the money it used to. They use it as a lead-in for other things. I read a whole deal about how they traditionally have lost money, but they keep them on because they help the network in other ways. Whatever.
Yeah.
But real quick, this is my compilation of Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert responding to Donald Trump, gloating about Colbert getting fired.
On Friday, Donald Trump posted, I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
Go fuck yourself!
Go fuck yourself! Go fuck yourself! Go fuck yourself!
So that was them. And then just to kind of put a fine point on the whole, the dam is breaking, that the vibe is shifting. You know who Dave Smith is?
Yeah.
He's the libertarian guy. He's been pretty pro-Trump. I think in the past week we've showed clips of Shane Gillis, Andrew Schultz. I don't know if we've showed Theo Vaughn, but he's also flipping on Trump.
Oh, yeah. But his is mostly because of Israel.
His is very much over the Gaza stuff.
Yeah.
But even Dave Smith, we're going to talk about Dave Smith here for a second, but he's been souring on Trump big time. I got a clip we're going to play in a second. But he's going on Rogan apparently like next week. Rogan is one of the few that hasn't said a whole lot. Like he's kind of said a little bit, but he's not being really vocal about it. And I'm curious to see if he kind of defends the Trump administration with Dave Smith or if they dogpile on together. But real quick, with all the stuff we're going to talk about in a minute with Tulsi Gabbard, here's Dave Smith on his podcast. And this is just going to give you the vibe of how his audience is feeling about Trump.
So obviously to cover for this other horrible thing that you've done, it just doesn't ring quite, it doesn't come off quite as nice. So that's a major problem they have, is like, it's just too obvious that they're trying to use this to cover up the cover up or distract from the cover up. And then I think the other major problem, which I did get into a little bit on the last episode, but I think the other major problem is that particularly in the wake of the Epstein cover up, we don't believe you. Like, I really think that's what so much of this comes down to. Like, we don't believe you. How stupid do you think we are? I do not believe you're actually going to hold any of these people accountable.
Yeah.
The tide is turning, man. So he's been very, very, very vocal about being upset with the Trump administration right now. Like I said, he's going on Rogan in the next week. I want to see that. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Yeah, interesting. It is interesting how and it's mostly over Jeffrey Epstein.
So Gaza, a
Like-
little bit. Gaza
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
Gaza was it at first. That got Theo Vaughn, and there were some people kind of questioning it. And then the immigration, the immigration raids, and just kind of the inhumane way they were treating people, that got a couple people kind of talking. But then Epstein was what finally broke it. And Dave Smith said it perfect. How dumb do they think their base is? Like, they're clearly lying about this stuff. I mean,
Everything.
Shane Gillis called them out on it the other night. Like, they're clearly lying. So,
Well, the thing is they've been lying all this time, and their base just believes them blatantly. The entire last decade, they've just been lying to their base, and their base just believes them.
for whatever reason,
Now people are like pushing back,
Well,
or going, "Oh wait, that doesn't seem right." Like, I don't know what the click is, and I really do think it's the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I think
It
it's
is.
like I think it's the Gaza or Palestinian children dying. And it's about children. Like, if you mess with children, you're going to get you're going to get called out.
there's an element of like the right-wing base that was upset a little bit about Gaza. I think that was a really small group. Most of the right-wing base wasn't going to let that break their relationship with Trump. The Epstein thing, like, when you think about it, really, let's go back to like 2016, 2015. Like, Pizzagate was all about protecting the children, saving the children. During COVID, it was that whole movement, Save the Children. Like,
Yeah.
the whole Maha MAGA type movement has been based on protecting children from predators or evil or whatever. So, like, Epstein kind of encapsulates all that. Like, in their mind, there's been rich people who have gotten away with pedophilia, whatever else. Like, it's time for them to pay. And now it very much appears that nobody is going to pay. Like, in fact, it appears Ghislaine Maxwell is going to get out of jail. Like, I would put money on that at this point.
What year did Epstein go to jail? It was
2019.
during
He killed himself in
2019.
2019. He might have gone to jail in 18, killed himself in 19.
Okay, so that was halfway through Trump's first administration.
That was almost, I mean, it was at the end. It was in the last
and we
year.
already knew Trump was on the flight logs then.
So we did, but I think that even though that was in my mind obvious, I think there was a lot of like the Trump base that didn't believe that. They thought that was all a made up hoax. Like I really think they were not aware how. I mean, and again, let me be very clear here. It doesn't mean necessarily that Trump was diddling kids. Like he might have been, but it doesn't mean that.
Well,
There,
he it sounds like they were business partners in this trafficking of children at this point.
it sounds like they were.
You
Uh,
could easily put those dots together.
so there is a.
Trump owned how many and ran and like participated in how many underage children like pageantry things. Like
So
he owned his pageant.
you are
Right.
right. You are right that there are some dots that it appears you can clearly connect. There's not a smoking gun where go, oh look here, it proves it. It's circumstantial evidence that all points to what appears to be a real obvious answer, but we don't have anything that's clear, concise evidence.
Like a video,
I mean,
or like what about a girl saying that she was molested by Trump when she
well,
was young?
she said that and then she dropped those charges. And people said it's because he paid her to drop those charges, but that never made it into a courtroom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
mean,
saying.
but what about like the other 30, 40 women who have accused him of raping them?
None of those were underage. I'm
Are
not
you
defending.
sure?
I'm not defending Trump. I'm just saying there was one
I know.
underage. There was one underage accuser, and that never made it to a courtroom for whatever reason. Either there's two ways of looking at it. Either she dropped the charges because she was getting threats and she just wanted it to go away, or she got paid off to go away. One of those two things happened. It depends on who you listen to that they'll tell you one of those two things happened.
And then you listen to like that Howard Stern audio where he was like, where Robin was questioning him on like, "What's your age limit?" And she was
I would,
obviously asking what his like high age limit. And he was like, "I wouldn't go as low as 12. I mean, good golly."
yeah, it's bad. So
Holy shit, 12?
well, and
Jesus.
with the whole Ghislaine thing, like I don't know if you saw, but Todd Blanche, who was his personal attorney, and he now has as like the number two at the Department of Justice. Todd Blanche went today and met with Ghislaine in a prison in
Yeah.
Tallahassee. I guarantee,
Why? Why would he need to send his person to go to Ghislaine?
I guarantee you, they went in there, and the deal that's going to be made, it's clear as day. The deal that's going to be made is, hey, if you A, give us dirt on a couple of high-ranking Democrats, and B, clear Trump's name, you will get a pardon. That's all you got to do is play ball. Clear Trump.
They were all,
Give
so
us
they
some
were there
names.
for a whole they were there all day today, and then they're going back tomorrow.
I did not see that they're going back.
That's what I heard
So, yeah,
just a minute ago.
they're working out a deal. So,
They're
and
working out a deal. And if Trump pardons Ghislaine, do you think the right wing base is gonna like accept that?
I think he's going to pay for it. I think he'll pay dearly for it. I don't think anybody's buying it at this point. And here's the
Yeah.
thing: is at this point, if Ghislaine throws out some names, like it'd be one thing if she just clears Trump and he pardons her. He's going to go through hell with his base for that. But if he gives, if she manages to give some names, some big names, the ones that the MAGA base will love to get, then I think they might give him a bit of a pat. There'll still be some that are not cool with it, but
Yeah.
that ruins his whole thing of hey, this was a Obama, Biden, Comey, Clapper hoax because he's been saying that forever. Yeah. In fact, real quick, Jordan Klepper summed it up really well for me. I want to play this.
Oh.
This is from the Daily Show via CNN. I'm always scared to play shit from Comedy Central, but this was on CNN, so I ripped it from there.
So let me get this straight. According to Trump, all the top Democrats got together and said, let's create some fake files that destroy Trump's political career. They don't ever use them. They let Trump get elected. Don't use them. Let Trump get elected again. Still don't use them. And then once he's the president, hope he releases the files without ever looking at them. Frankly.
Yeah.
It's a genius
Yeah.
plan, wasn't it?
A genius. So
Genius
genius.
plan. So
I mean, that's what we've been saying is Trump is just a complete genius.
he's at a point now where he's throwing everything he can against the wall and seeing if he can get anything to stick. He wants a distraction. He's been really good throughout his entire time running for office. If there's a bad news cycle, he's really good at getting everybody to look over here. Everybody look at this new thing, and he's trying so hard. The one thing they're really pushing right now is this whole Obama treasonous. But he said he meant to say it was seditious, but he said it was sedacious, which is not a word.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But real quick, They first said, okay, we're going to release the grand jury testimony. We're going to ask a judge to release it. Everybody thought this would take a year for the judge to make a ruling on it, would buy them time. The judge ruled in like 3 days and said, no, I'm not releasing it. And then the judge released all of the filings on it. And it turns out the DOJ was arguing. They were basically saying, hey, there is no reason to release it. We don't have a good reason. Really, you shouldn't release it. So the DOJ, even though they asked for them to release it in their filing, it was basically, hey, you shouldn't release this. So they were not really asking for it to get released. Also, the Wall Street Journal. So is suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion based off their first report. I can't even remember the first one. There's been so much news now. The Trump birthday card to Epstein with the drawing of the naked lady. So he's suing them for $10 billion. They're not backing down. Even after he sued them, they did a new special report that Trump got briefed in May by the Department of Justice, I think by Pam Bondi. She came to the White House and told them, like, hey, we've been looking and your name is in the files a lot. So, and they asked the White House for comment on that and they did not deny it. So it's real funny because there was a whole lead up where they kept saying, we're going to release it. We're going to release it. And then in May, they tell Trump, hey, your name's in the files. And then 3 weeks after that, Kash Patel goes on Rogan and says, hey, he killed himself. There's not the things you want aren't in there. And then they go on Maria Bartiromo and say he killed himself. There's nothing to see here. So from the day that Trump found out his name was in the files, their whole vibe shifted. They're not giving anything up. Also, the Wall Street Journal reports that Bongino and Bondi got into some pretty heated fights in these meetings. Bondi accused Bongino of leaking to the media. I want to say real quick, that actually makes a lot of sense. Bongino used to work at Fox News. Who owns Fox News?
Rupert Murdoch.
Who owns the Wall Street Journal?
Rupert Murdoch.
It wouldn't be shocking if all this stuff the Wall Street Journal is getting is coming from Bongino. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and Bongino kind of wants an out. Like he disappeared for a few days when Epstein stuff. Like I think they're all kind of like, I think they all wanted the Epstein release, all the files released, and once they got in office, they were actually able to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, there is reporting that Pam Bondi had to go to Trump in May and say your name is in the Epstein files.
That's what I just told you.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I don't think you're listening when I'm talking.
I was trying to listen, but I was trying to do something else too. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just went through all that.
My bad.
I feel like I should back up. Also, a quote that supposedly Bongino told Trump and Bondi was that his association with the administration is eroding his credibility with his podcast base. He was very upset about that. Like, me being associated with you guys is killing my ability to be a podcaster after this administration is over. So that's
so
what
Bongino still does his podcast?
No, but he's going to go back to doing it after the administration is over, and he's mad because he's losing all credibility. He worked really hard to get a podcast base, and now they've all turned on him. So he's more concerned with that than anything else. That the fact that pedophiles are getting away with stuff. No, he's worried about his credibility with his podcast base.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah.
So, and then also the other thing that the Wall Street Journal is pointing out is Kash Patel is apparently a bit of a gossip. He's been going around telling everybody else in the White House that Trump's name is in the Epstein files. So Kash is a gossip.
Telling everybody.
Yeah, he's telling everybody else in the administration. And then Bondi thinks that Bongino is the one leaking stuff about it, which somebody in the inner circle is leaking because they have all kinds of information on meetings where Bondi briefed Trump on the fact that his name was in there, and then a fight between Bongino and Bondi. Like, there's not a lot of people in these meetings, so somebody in the room is spreading this to Rupert Murdoch, basically.
So if Bondi's telling Trump his name is in there, so Bondi went through and saw his name in there.
They had 10,000, or not 10,000, excuse me. They had 1,000 FBI agents go through the report and flag every time Trump's name was in there, and then report to Bondi.
How many times was his name in there?
Apparently it was a lot. And we don't know the context.
If Bondi sees this and goes like, and she just looks at like a few of them, like, is it like Trump was trafficking women? He was sleeping with underage girls. He was doing this. I mean, did you see the Jeffrey Epstein interview that he was? I think it was like a police interview. He was
That was a deposition for his trial.
Yeah.
And they asked him if they said, have you ever socialized with Donald Trump? And he said, yes. And they said, have you ever socialized in the presence of girls under 18 with Donald Trump? And he said, real quick, he goes, I'd like to answer that question, but unfortunately today I'm going to invoke my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment. I don't even know what the 6th and the 14th Amendment are. Normally it's just the 5th, but he invoked 3 amendments to not have to answer that question.
He did not want to answer that question.
Yeah, it's anyhow, Trump did get asked about this in the Oval Office the other day. So I got 2 clips of Trump talking about this. I don't even know what channel this is from, but this is I feel you mentioned this last week, but he keeps getting into the Oval Office with like the head of state of another country, and then they're sitting there really uncomfortably while Trump is yelling at the media. This was another This was another one of those type things, but check this out real quick. This is Trump from I think on Monday.
Do you support the Justice Department seeking an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell? Did you urge the Attorney General to see one?
I don't know anything about it. They're going to what? Meet her?
Your Deputy Attorney General has reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
Do you have any concern that your Deputy Attorney General, as your former attorney, would be conducting the interview, given...
No, I have no concern. He's a very talented person. He's very smart. I didn't know that they were going to do it. I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt. The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up to 2020 in the election, they tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that.
So what's happening to Trump right now with Epstein is a witch hunt. But the witch hunt you should be really looking at is Obama, which, as we played the clip a minute ago of Dave Smith saying, this is clearly a cover-up. Like, you're trying to distract us from the Epstein cover-up. We don't believe you. Even so, Megyn Kelly, I saw her on with, I think the guy's name's Mark Halperin on her show, and they were both laughing at how clearly he's trying to distract us from the Epstein thing. Andrew Schultz had, I can't remember who, he had somebody good. Oh, he had on Ezra Klein. I think I just saw that today. And they were talking. He's a reporter. It's a left-leaning reporter. He wrote a book or an article about abundance. I don't know if you've heard the word abundance being thrown around all the time, but apparently he's the one who started this whole abundance thing. But Andrew Schultz
need abundance, or we want abundance, or we have abundance, or what?
I don't even want to try to go into that. I don't
feel like
know
in the United States we have abundance.
He talked about it a little bit with Andrew Schultz, but I'm going to say it made me want to read whatever he's written about abundance because I didn't really get what he was talking about. So I don't want to pretend that I can explain that.
Abundance ruins a society or something like that?
I think it was we need – I think he was using it in the context of like affordable housing and stuff like that we don't have, that the government could help get built, but we don't. And I don't know. I don't know which way he's going.
Obviously, I think we have an abundance of housing, but
not affordable housing.
Not affordable.
Yeah.
But we have an abundance of housing. But the fact that a country like ours has an abundance of almost everything.
Yeah, I don't know, but let's both read up on abundance and talk about it next time. Because, like I said, I'm not at all prepared. But on that podcast with Ezra Klein, Schultz and his whole group, who were all very pro-Trump heading into the election, were all just laughing at how clearly he's trying to distract us. Oh God! Oh, and then also Fox News had an article on their main part of the website, like the very middle. It was an article that was basically saying, "Hey, you shouldn't trust the stuff Tulsi's putting out." Like, I can't remember the headline of it, but it was saying like, "Don't take this seriously." Good. So even Fox is telling its viewers, hey, just watch out here. So, and I did a deep dive into what Tulsi released. I spent all day today going through it. So I'm prepared to talk about this, but before I do, I want to let Trump explain to us what exactly Obama did, because he's very eloquent. So here's one more from Trump from that same time in the Oval Office.
But what we found is even more so. Now, we found this isn't like evidence this is like proof, irrefutable proof that Obama was seditious, that Obama was trying to lead a coup. And it was with Hillary Clinton, with all these other people. But Obama headed it up. And, I get a kick when I hear everyone talks about people I never even heard of. It was this one. No. It was Obama. He headed it up. And it says so right in the papers. Got everything. This is the biggest scandal in the history of our country. And it really goes on to even the auto pen, because it all relates to the same thing. It all started the same sick minds. You have an auto pen, which is a tremendous, well, we don't have a president. We have an auto pen that signs everything. I'll bet you sign everything. You don't have auto pens.
So Trump thinks that Obama's beautiful.
He's flailing, is all I'm going to say. He's throwing everything he can at the wall, hoping anything sticks. But Obama's
gold-painted walls. That fucking Oval Office looks horrendous. Jesus.
Dude, I saw a side by side of when Biden was president, sitting in those same chairs versus when Trump was, and he just replaced. It was like red chairs, maybe I think before he replaced the red chairs with gold chairs, and then just put as much gold as he could on the walls. That's an old man thing. I've always been a silver guy.
That old man thing. It's a
Yeah.
Middle Eastern dictatorship thing. That's what that is.
It looks tacky to me, but I don't like
It's
I don't like
disgusting. No.
I don't like gold watches. Like I've always been a silver guy, silver ring, silver watch, whatever. And
Okay.
I see old guys that wear gold rings, gold watches. Maybe it's an age thing, but clearly, like Trump.
That's fine. No, I'm fine with a gold necklace if you go gold on your man jewelry accessories, but like you don't do gold frames and gold chairs and gold carpet and gold everything. Like
Don't forget, he had a gold
gold
toilet.
toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you? You're
Yeah.
a Saudi dictator, is what you are. That's what you want to be.
Hey, I got to take a quick sidetrack real quick. You have been talking to me about this for years, but my mom and stepdad recently bought one of those bidets that you just like hook up
Fuck
to your
yeah.
existing toilet. And my mom called me and was like, "You have to get one." And I was like, "Oh, fucking
Yeah.
Docs has been telling me this for I don't know how long." Anyhow, sorry.
So-
We mentioned toilet, so I had to bring that up.
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
A bidet is, it should be a household item. Every bathroom should have a bidet.
I've still never used one. I'm afraid of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
feel good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, the gold in the gold in the Oval Office is hideous. Trump is throwing everything he can at the wall.
It's kind of fun to watch, man. He's like you said, he's flailing. It's
Flailing,
crazy.
yeah. So, and that's the thing is, he was on like when you're on a hot streak and like everything goes your way. You know, everybody gets those, but those times where everything's going perfect in life. If you throw a wadded up piece of paper at the trash can, it's going in. You're on fire. Like Trump was there from the time that Trump got shot at in Pennsylvania and had the fist pumping fight. And through his first month, maybe 6 weeks in the administration, all the companies were bowing down to him. The universities were like, he was bulletproof. And like,
Yeah.
wow, what a turnaround. We're 6 months in now, maybe 7 months in.
7.
And like, he's flailing and trying. He's on his heels. Like he's backpedaling on everything. He's on the defensive and he keeps trying to flip it and go on the attack. And it's not working. It's the first time.
Nope.
His whole thing of like double down, deflect, attack, like that's like it's not working. Even Elon called him on that the other day. Elon like listed out the steps of his playbook, and he said it's not working this time or something like that. So Elon's been kind of shit posting him. Before we actually get into the substance of the of what he's accusing Obama of, I got to also mention Mike Johnson sent Congress home early for their August recess. They're out. There were several House members that were Republicans that were even saying, like, what are we doing here? Like, but he was scared to death they were going to take a vote to make them actually release
But they made it like there's some Republicans that flipped in one of the chambers or something.
one of the select committees. So,
Select
one of the
committee,
committees.
okay.
Yeah. So they are subpoenaing certain stuff, not all of it, but certain stuff.
I thought it was all of it. I thought they were getting unredacted subpoena
So-
of the.
What they're saying to the cameras is not what they're actually doing on paper. And a lot of times, like I got a video here we're about to play of Mark Wayne Mullen. Mark Wayne Mullen is my senator from Oklahoma, and he's a moron. I hate the guy with all my heart. But he was blocking. I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the Senate was trying to start a bill to. I think it was the senator from Arizona, Gallego. But he was trying to do a motion to get everything released, and Mark Wayne blocked it and said, "No, let's go with mine instead." Real quick, before we even talk about what his is, check out see what you notice from this clip here of him talking on the Senate floor.
I'm sure this would be handled just like any other thing that they've tried to go after, like the baseless impeachments or the baseless special counsels or the unbelievable amount of charges they've tried to file against the president. I'm sure this would be handled the exact same way. What we're simply wanting to do here is give them cover. So if my colleague from Arizona actually wants transparency, then he would drop his objection to my resolution.
His suit doesn't fit very well.
Did you hear where he said what we're trying to do here is give him cover? They're trying to.
Yeah.
He admitted we're trying to give Trump cover. We're trying to protect him from this.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not.
that's the reason that they're putting they're letting the House go early is so that they have enough time to redact all Trump out of this thing.
Well, and that's what Mark Wayne Mullins' whole bill is. He's telling them that they have to give the Senate all the verifiable evidence. He worded it in a certain way where basically if they think it's not credible, then they don't have to release that to the Senate. Just give us the stuff that you think. And it's like, no, give them everything.
Well, here's the thing is like, okay, he's got 6 stories going on this. He's got Obama and Biden did it, cover up, whatever. And then he's got I was never in it. And then he's got like, I was in it, but I'm not like,
He still hasn't admitted he's in
evidence.
He still has not admitted.
Did. He totally admitted it the other day.
Oh, wait, we played that clip. Yeah, he said every time I was in there, it was all bogus. Never mind.
It was all bogus, right?
You're right.
So he's got like 4 or 5 different things going on, and they all of them can contradict each other. But yeah, but nobody really like. I think that's why his base is kind of like, oh, something's not right here.
Yeah, clearly. And anyhow, that's where we're at with. So Congress, the whole co-equal branch, no, they're running cover for Trump.
Yeah.
Let's get into a little bit here of what they are, because their whole point in bringing up this Obama stuff is to get us to talk about that and not Epstein. Okay, we're kind of taking the bait here, but I've had 2 of my Oklahoma Republican buddies that say, "Man, I don't know if you've seen, but it looks like Obama's going to jail for treason." Like they're buying it, hook, line, and sinker. They listen to Alex Jones and Steve Bannon and stuff. So,
really, Alex Jones?
Yeah, I've got 2 buddies.
Oh my
up
God,
here.
who are you hanging out with in Oklahoma, bro?
Dude?
You need new friends.
A good buddy of mine that you play disc golf with. I was talking to him one time, and he was like, "Yeah, he's like, I don't really do politics. I get all my news from like one source." And I was like, "What's the source?" And he was like, "I don't want to tell you because you'll make fun of me." And I was like, "No. Like, who is it?"
Well, then that's the whole thing.
No.
Like, stop listening to the news, and everybody's gonna make fun of you for listening.
He said he wasn't going to tell me, and then I was like, "Well, what do you think about?" And I asked him like 4 questions, and based off his answer, I go, "You listen to Alex Jones, don't you?" And he was like, "How'd you know?" And I was like, "Because I pay attention to that shit. Like what you're saying, you're parroting Alex Jones." So
yeah.
Anyhow, but they're
tell him to stop listening to Alex Jones.
They're convinced that Obama and all his cronies are going down for treason. They'll probably be hung. Like that's where they think it's going to happen here. First of all, because of Donald J. Trump, Obama can't be arrested for pretty much anything because Trump got it to where the president has immunity. Sorry, buddy. Presidents can't be charged. So. But even at that, this is kind of hysterical. What they're trying to say.
How do they walk that back? Because that needs to go away. That ruling needs to go away.
The Supreme
president
Court
should not be immune for everything.
I don't know how it would work because I don't know who overrules who. Congress, like if the Congress and the Senate passed a new bill or law saying that the president can be held responsible, then somebody would try to challenge that, and it would go all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court could either say, yes, this is constitutional, or no, it's not, we overrule it. So I think ultimately the Supreme Court would have the say on that. But
it would have to be it would have to be the Democrats coming up with a bill, passing it through the House and the Senate, and then bring it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court going, okay, yeah, you're right. Like we're stepping our bounds with Trump.
They'd also have to have the president sign off on it. It would have to go through all the steps: House to the Senate to the president. All 3 would have to sign off on it. Yeah. And what president's going to say, yes, you can prosecute me. I'm going to sign right here. So I don't know.
So it's just going to be the law of the land from now. I mean, that's a dictatorship right there.
Yeah,
that's where it starts.
Yeah, it was a really bad ruling by the Supreme Court. But anyhow,
hopefully the Democrats can be the dictators.
I don't want to do that. I feel like
I mean, if we're
Yeah.
going to be a dictatorship, we better have our own people in the position of dictator.
That's the problem. And
We,
I've said this many times, but Biden ran on the whole like, hey, I'm going to return things to normal. And he got in and he tried to
Mhm.
do that. He tried to, hey, we're only going to pass bipartisan legislation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like nothing really got done. And the sides hated each other. And most of the left, his base, were pissed because they were like, no, 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 we want you to be like Trump. We want you to ram it down people's throats. And he didn't want to do that. Anyhow, that whoever's going to be the next Democrat's probably going to take a page out of Trump's playbook, and that's going to suck.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
kind of hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really want it to be that way, but it has to be that way. Like Trump has flipped the script on democracy so bad right now that we need someone to come in and re-flip the script to take back control, be a dictator for,
That's the thing that people keep warning the Republicans is like, hey, like right now, this like the fact that you're doing this is benefiting you, but if there's a president AOC in 2028, anyhow, that
Yep.
they've been warned, and that's
They don't
anyhow.
care. They're just
So
they're hoping that Trump can control the elections for the rest of they're hoping
which
that the Republicans can control the elections for the years to come.
yeah,
That's all.
I'm still curious if Trump's really going to try to run in 2028. For a long time I was saying he's not really gonna. He's just saying it. But like the way things are kind of going, I think it's like 50-50 at this point. I'm not ready to say he's definitely going to do it, but like I'm open to it. I think he might try.
He's also losing like his cognitive sharpness. Like you see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been fading ever since he stepped in the public light, but like you can really start to see some of it go. Like what did he call Obama? Sedacious, which means beautiful.
Sedacious.
He loves Obama. He thinks
Yeah.
Obama's beautiful.
Dude,
Right.
so and here's
Shut
something.
up.
Here's something that here. Okay, would you agree that both me and you we waited too long? We kept kind of going, no, 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 Biden's fine. Biden's fine. He's not getting senile. And then the debate happened, and we were like, oh shit, like he is. Okay, so we learned our lesson to a degree there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We definitely hung on too long to the hope that Biden was fine.
We
Now,
learned it.
Biden
Yeah.
was like
Okay. Go ahead.
Biden was like 78, I believe, when he got elected, and 82
Uh-huh.
when he got out. And in that 4 years, at the very end, people age quickly. Like their mental breakdown happens quickly. Trump is just a couple months older than Biden was when they both got sworn in this last time. He was like 79. I think they were only like 5 or 6 months apart. But so
Okay.
we're about to watch Trump go through that same lifespan of 79-ish to 83-ish that Biden just
Yeah.
went through. And like it could start to happen fast. And what sucks is if it's
I think it is.
happening, if it's happening and the right refuses to believe it or admit it, like we really don't have a leg to stand on because we just did that shit with Biden.
I'm surprised they addressed his ankle swelling.
That's how you know they're trying to change the subject. They talked about his health for the first time. Like every time he gets his physical and all that, they just say he's the most healthy president ever. They one time they described his blood pressure as like very impressive, and it's like that's not how blood pressure works. Like it's either good or it's bad. Like you can't have impressive
Very
blood.
impressive blood
Yeah.
pressure.
Anyhow, but yeah, the fact that they released medical information on him that was not good, like that's another, they were just throwing shit at the wall, anything they can to change the topic. Plus, the pictures of his ankles and the bruising on his hand, like those were getting hard to not address. But let's talk a little bit about the Obama, let's call it Obama Gate. I think I heard somebody call it that, okay?
Gosh.
Real quick, I want to let Tulsi explain to us what's going on here, and then I'm going to tell you what I read up on today. You'll be shocked to find out that what they're saying does not match what they're actually releasing. Shocker. But here's Tulsi at the podium of the White House the other day with Caroline Leavitt, our favorite people. Check this out.
The Senate Intelligence Committee spent several years looking into this and unanimously agreed in a bipartisan fashion, Secretary of State Rubio was a member of that committee, that there was no political interference. There was a years-long Justice Department investigation into this as well that also concluded no political interference. So help us from a 50,000-foot level explain, what do you now have that refutes those two conclusions?
I will encourage you, in my role as the Director of National Intelligence, my job, again, as I said when I came into this role, was to make sure that we are telling the truth to the American people and that we are ensuring that the intelligence community is not being politicized. So I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you and the media to conduct honest journalism and the American people to see for yourself in the documents that we've released now, close to 200 pages, that point in multiple references, multiple examples, to include comments that have been made by senior intelligence professionals who are some still working within these agencies today that confirm the conclusions that we have drawn, that President Obama directed an intelligence community assessment to be created to further this contrived false narrative that ultimately led to a years-long coup to try to undermine President Trump's presidency.
And it's your belief that those two previous investigations missed that or covered it up?
I'm telling you to look at the evidence. Look at the evidence, and you will know the truth.
John,
so
I hate her.
Most of her press conference went that way. They were like, what specific paper do you have in this release that explains what you're trying to tell us happened here? And she just kept saying, I implore you to look at all the evidence. The thing is, she can't point at anything because there's not really any one thing there. Now, let me tell you what they do have here, okay? Have you ever heard of
She looks like a villain, too. She looks like a
Cruella
superhero
DeVille.
villain.
Yeah, Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians, maybe? That's what she's got the little white streak in her hair, even. Like, I think she's going for that. Like, yeah.
Ugh.
Anyhow.
So gross, man. What is wrong with these people?
They're bad. The next clip's
They
going to
cannot say to tell the truth, and they wear a cross like Caroline Levitt. She cannot tell the fucking truth, and she wears a cross on her neck.
South Park,
like,
every
I'm
time
a Christian, and I can't tell the truth.
Every time South Park showed Caroline Levitt, they had a big cross on her. I thought that was very appropriate. Anyhow, I'm going to try to run you through here what they're saying. Have you ever heard of the expression when it comes to police getting in trouble with the law, fruit from the poisonous tree? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I mean, that's like biblical.
Can you? So what's that?
It's biblical.
Well, somewhat. So the whole thing is like if you get pulled over and the cop really doesn't have a reason to search your car, but he decides to do it anyway, like you can take that to court. And even if they found something bad in there, if they didn't have a legal reason to search your car, that's known as fruit from the poisonous tree, and that's inadmissible in court because they never should have been looking there in the first place. Okay,
did you see that guy that got pulled over by the police and then they bust out his window, punched him in the face?
Yeah, I saw
drug
that.
him out of his car.
That was in Florida.
Well, they're just taking a playbook from ICE now.
Okay,
and this is the way the police are going to act. This is not good for American society.
Okay, stick with me. We're going to stick on Russia for a minute, though. Okay.
No, Russia. We're going with Russia.
Obama, Russia, Tulsi. This is what we've been talking about. You got me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, fruit from the poisonous tree. That's basically their whole argument here. Their argument is the initial intel assessment that came into them said, it doesn't appear that Russia's hacked our voting systems, and we have no evidence that they're like favoring one side or the other. Like that was the first intel assessment that came to them. And Obama, Clapper, Brennan, like all his intel chiefs, he got them all together. They looked at it, and they basically told them, hey, go back and keep looking. Like, look for more. Like, we have all this other, circumstantial evidence all over. You could be missing something. Go back and look again. Like, that's most of the case, is that they really didn't have a reason to continue with the investigation. Like, based off the evidence that got shown to them initially.
Right. There's no evidence that Obama, like, why are we even talking about this? There's no evidence that Obama did anything. This is stupid. This is a distraction. We're spending too much time on this. Everybody.
The charge in the papers, not what they say on TV. The charge in the papers is that based off the intel Obama was given, he should have just accepted that initial intel assessment and not had them continue to look. But instead, he ordered them to go out and keep looking, look for more. Now, when they went out and looked for more is when they found a whole bunch of stuff. And even the very first page of Tulsi's report she put out, this is a quote. It says, most of the ICA judgments on Russia's activities in the election employed proper analytic tradecraft and were consistent with observed Russian behavior. The key judgments were found to be credible and include that Putin ordered conventional and cyber influence operations with the preferred outcome of Donald Trump being president. So, like, their end outcome was correct. Thank you. Their end outcome was correct. But the argument the Republicans are making right now is they shouldn't have, they didn't have reason to be investigating in the first place. That's the whole argument. That this is the Obamagate is. He got told there's nothing there, and he said, go back and keep looking. And then when they went back, they actually found a bunch. And the Senate Intelligence Committee by Rubio backed up everything they found. Like what they found, nobody's challenging what they actually found. It was, did they really have a right to even be looking? That's the argument.
So Russia actually tried to interfere in our election, but they
Yes.
didn't interfere in our election by changing any votes.
That was what the original assessment said. And Tulsi Gabbard, Trump, and all them are saying it should have stopped there. They didn't have any legal reason to continue to snoop around. Now, like I said, once they continued snooping around, nobody is denying, and nowhere in anything Tulsi released does it say that that anything they found was incorrect at that point. That's when we found out that Russia was interfering. That's when we found out about their rooms where they had people on social media all day trying to start fights between the right and the left. Like we found all that out, but they shouldn't have even been looking at that point. And what they say is Obama ordered them to manufacture an intelligence report. He ordered them to go out and keep looking till they find, this is the theory, keep looking until you find what I'm telling you to find. That's what they're saying Obama did. Now,
and what did they find?
Everything that we know today, that they were basically trying to sow chaos in our elections with the desire of Donald Trump winning the presidency. That's the
But
bottom
that was
line.
obvious during the election. That's the thing. It was obvious during the election when we were looking at Facebook and Twitter. Like, I feel like we had this conversation. Like, why is it Russia is like taking out?
We didn't realize that there were fake accounts on social media that were stirring shit up until it was like a year after Trump won. It's when we learned all that. I don't think me and you were onto that at all. Nobody really was. Like, we didn't find that out. Now, Trump was saying stuff during the campaign like, Russia, if you're listening, I hope you can find Hillary Clinton's 30,000 emails. And then also,
right?
When the Access Hollywood tape came out where Trump said, grab him by the pee, like later that day was the first batch of John Podesta emails that got released, or John Podesta or one of those. But Russia, then on the day where Trump got the worst news of his campaign, they tried to change the subject to something bad for the Democrats. So it was clear that Russia was trying to help him. What was unclear and never proven, I will say, a lot of circumstantial evidence, but it was never proven that they were working in coordination with each other. That would have been collusion. Robert Mueller said we don't have enough to say collusion, but were they helping Trump? Yes, they were helping Trump, but it's just they weren't coordinating it. There's all kinds of other stuff. Like at one point, Paul Manafort, who was the campaign manager for Trump that previously worked in Ukraine for Putin's candidate, at one point, we know for sure that he gave a Russian spy all of their internal polling. Why would you do that if you weren't? But we don't know, because that guy, Paul Manafort, refused to answer questions, went to jail for not answering questions, and then Trump pardoned him. So,
yeah, Trump is colluding with other countries for sure. Not only is he colluding with Russia, he's colluded with Israel. He's colluded with who's giving him a jet? Qatar. He's getting a jet from Qatar. Yeah. Where did he just open up a golf course?
Vietnam. He just got approved. He's had like 3 golf courses approved since he's been president in foreign countries. Vietnam's one of them. Yeah. He's definitely the grift is strong. I don't like collusion. That might not be the right word for what he's doing, but like grifting is clearly a good word for it.
Yeah, but grifting is a low level of what he's doing, though. Grifting is a term. I don't know what the upper term is. I think collusion might be the like higher version of grifting.
I don't think so. Collusion because it applied to the election in 2016. In my mind, collusion is like for an election or for getting something passed, whatever. It'd have to be something like that. Trump's just getting side deals left and right with all these countries. Like it's corruption. Yeah. Corruption is the word you're looking for.
Corruption. There's an even higher level of this. Like I feel like there's snake oil salesman, there's grifter, there's corruption, there's I'll look it up. There's something that's
we should call it trumping. He's trumping it.
He's
Future presidents that do this will have to say that they're pulling a Trump.
I hope no other president does this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in the way America is run right now. But it seems like it's sliding in a different direction. I feel like we might be pushing Trump out.
Like I said, the dam is breaking, the tide is turning, the vibe is shifting for real.
The vibe is shifting.
Hang with me on Russia for just a couple more seconds here, okay? You keep trying to pull us away. Tulsi, at one point, Caitlin Collins from CNN asks, Tulsi and Levitt, and they're taking turns asking questions, and Caitlin Collins gets up and says, hey, is there any chance that he, and I'm paraphrasing here, but like, hey, is there any chance that Tulsi is releasing all this to help Trump because she had fallen out of his good graces? He was not, looked like he was mad at
Oh yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah.
And Carolyn Levitt stepped up to protect and said, "Let me take this one. I'm gonna defend you. I want you to watch this defense from that question, but while you're doing it, I just want you to pay attention to Tulsi's face, Tulsi's mannerisms, her facial expressions, everything. It looks like she's realizing she sold her soul. It's what I see. Let's see what you see
She
here real quick. This is from the White
she stole
House.
her soul a long time ago.
And I think who is saying that she would release this to try to boost her standing with the president? Who has said that?
Well, the president has publicly undermined her when it came to Iran. He said she was wrong. He told me that she didn't know what she was talking about. That was on Air Force One on camera.
The only people who are suggesting that the director of national intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to. And that is true of his entire cabinet, who is all working as one team to deliver on the promises this president made. Does anyone else have questions for Director Gabbard?
She stopped wearing her cross.
Did she not have it on there? I didn't even notice it.
She didn't have it on
Yeah.
there.
But did you see Tulsi just fucking like her stare? I don't even know what you would call it, but she just was staring straight ahead. Like, what am I doing with my? That's maybe I'm reading it wrong, but what I saw is her going, "What am I doing? Like, what? Like,
There's
I
a
think
little bit of that for sure. Yeah.
I think she knows what she released is not what everybody's saying she released, but whatever.
Yeah, of course, they all know that they're lying. Like their souls are being sucked away from them every day that they're in this administration. This is the problem.
Yeah.
They traded their souls for power. They every last one of them traded their souls for just a little bit of power, right?
Mhm.
And Tulsi knows that. She's been doing it all her life. But like, I don't know. Caroline Levitt, man, I feel like she might have came into this thing being like, yeah, I'm a spicy Republican, but I believe in God and I trust all this. And now she's just kind of like, I think she like for a while there, she kind of had this like look on her like, oh, Trump is a child rapist.
Dude, there
Look
was
on her
that one
face.
clip where he was talking and she was just kind of looking down and like that was the same kind of look
Yeah.
where she was like, what am I doing here? Like,
And I bet you somebody in the administration had a talk with her and was like, hey, look, like Trump might have done some bad things back in the day, but like he's gonna make this country great. And you know it. You know it. You join
so
this because you know Trump's gonna make this administration great and you're gonna help him. And she's like, yeah, I am. I'm gonna help Trump. And now she's back on her shit. So
I don't
I don't
so
know. These people are corrupt.
I
It's
don't think
bad.
you're right, and it's just because I can't remember which group it was, but she was with a group called like the Heritage Foundation is a big one, but she was with one of those groups for years leading into being Trump's press secretary. So it's not like she recently got brainwashed into doing this. Like she's been in that group for a while, and I hate to tell you this, but you're going to be seeing her for the next 30 years. Like there's no world where she disappears. I'm just telling you right now. She's 27 years old. She's She's a
She'll
blonde
get a
who
job at Fox.
she's a blonde who's somewhat attractive, and she's Trump's press secretary, and she's only 27. You're gonna be Carolyn Levitt's gonna be in your life. She'll still be going when you and me die. I firmly believe that. So sorry, but you're not getting rid of
Yeah.
Caroline Levitt.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely going to be, she's going to make it on Fox News or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, can I change the subject now and tell you something that I couldn't wait to tell you about?
Please do.
Did you have something you were looking something up? You got anything to add on any of this?
I was looking at Heritage Foundation. It's going to take me a while to do
They're-
what I was looking at. Their revenue is $101 million.
Dude, they're the group that basically wrote Project 2025.
I was trying to figure out how much, because you know, all these like charities, I don't donate to charities very often unless I like do my research, but like if you donate to a charity, like 1% goes to actual charity. The rest goes to the owner and then administrative fees and all kinds of crap.
I saw something one time, this was a while back, but it said that between 7 to 13% of your donation actually goes to the cause you're giving it to, and the rest of it's to overhead. So the Heritage Foundation, though, is not a charity. It might be like a super PAC. I don't know what you would, it's a
Kind of a
political.
super PAC.
Yeah, like something like that. It's not a charity by any means.
It says it's a charity, though. This charity score is 99%, earning a 4-star rating. That's from Charity Navigator.
They might have a charity aspect, but like the Heritage Foundation has been behind every Republican president since like Reagan, maybe before Reagan. Like they're the group in the shadows that is training all these young staffers and interns and all that. And like when a Republican becomes president, like most of their White House staff comes from the Heritage Foundation, and they've been like trained to do this. Like that's what they do. Anyhow, do you want to hear good news? I was wrong about something. I was 100,000,000% wrong about something. Watch this clip from Fox News real quick.
A major update in the case of the Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He's the illegal migrant sent to the maximum security prison in El Salvador for a while and later returned to the U.S. to face human trafficking charges. He pleaded not guilty. Today, a federal judge in Tennessee ordered the release of Abrego Garcia from custody while he awaits trial. Now, a separate judge in Maryland ruling shortly after that immigration authorities, ICE, must allow him to return to Maryland, blocking the Trump administration from detaining him upon his release from criminal custody in Tennessee. So they can't pick him up. That same judge ruling ICE must also provide 72 hours notice before deporting him to another country. Joining me now is former acting DHS Deputy Secretary Ken Cuccinelli. Ken, shocked he's out?
I am shocked he's out. I mean, this isn't just about the human trafficking charges where he was caught more or less dead to rights.
So Kilmar's getting out of jail, and he's going to get to be free while he awaits his trial. It's
called due process.
Yep, it is. Now, on top of that, a whole bunch of the Venezuelan migrants that got sent to El Salvador got released from CCOT back to El Salvador, including like a couple of the high-profile ones. Like there was a soccer goalie that apparently like had no business getting arrested and sent to CCOT. He's back in Venezuela. I think even the gay hairdresser guy from like Florida.
Ooh, he's alive?
I think he's alive and back. So I said very clearly that none of them are ever getting out of there, and Abrego Garcia ain't ever coming back to America. He's about to be walking around probably with an ankle monitor on, but like in all reality, kind of a free man in America. I'm shocked. What do you think the odds are the Trump administration just ignores that ruling and scoops him up and deports his ass? I think there's at least a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance. I don't know what the chances are, but hopefully he has some sort of his lawyer has some sort of like, what do you call that? Just like a protection program in place for him.
Yeah.
Like you can't just send him back to his home address. Like you got to like put him up in like some hotel where there's security, and like ICE can't just bombard him and like bust down the door and take him.
Overall, though, the fact that CCOT is getting kind of cleared out and all the people that have been held there, not all, I don't know how many of them got out, but I guess a good amount of them have gotten out and gone back to Venezuela, and Abrego Garcia is back here. So again, I thought nobody was ever getting out of there alive. The president of El Salvador said there's only one way to leave CCOT, and that's in a body bag. Like he said that on tape. They're getting out, so
that's good. That's good. That means our judges are actually laying down the law, or Trump's actually listening to judges.
The judge only really had anything to do with the Abrego Garcia one. All the ones that went back to El Salvador was a deal that Bukele, the president of El Salvador, worked out a deal with the president of Venezuela, and they did that on their own. Maybe America had some hand in it, but like had nothing to do with our judges.
So do you think, because we were paying them like $6 million or something to hold our...
Yeah, something like
that. Do you think we just reneged on our deal?
I don't know. And we don't even know. Like maybe Trump is mad that Bukele let these people go. I have no idea. Trump hasn't really said anything about it.
Heard, nobody, I don't even think have any of our reporters asked him about that.
It's flying under the radar. There's a lot going on right now. That's on the back burner. Going on. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Honestly, Fox covered that clip we just played was from Fox. I watch CNN a lot, and I don't think I've seen anything about that on CNN. Like they're too busy talking about the Epstein stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Which apparently, and I'm seeing this right now, but Maxwell's attorney said that she answered every question truthfully today and never invoked the Fifth Amendment once. She answered everything they asked her. So she's angling for a pardon. And like I said, they're going to ask her specifically what they want her to say. And there's a wink nod where she knows what she needs to say to get out of there, and they know what they need to ask to get the information they want. And at the end of this, I think America's going to see through it, but I think that they're going to suddenly come out and go, well, Ghislaine flipped on all these Democrats, but there wasn't a single Republican that she named. But look at all these Democrats, and because of that, we're giving her a pardon now. Like, I guarantee you, that's where this is heading.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I could definitely see that. I could also see the administration messing this up, or Trump's I don't know, third tier lawyers messing this up, and
could be
making Ghislaine mad, and then also just releasing everything.
And also, they were saying that they were saying that they planned to meet with Ghislaine later. They kept saying they were going to do it here soon, and then when the House finally one of the committees, I can't remember which one it was, but they voted to now subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell, and all of a sudden the Trump administration was like, we're going tomorrow morning. Like, they have to get there before senators and congressmen do, because they need to get there first and get everything going on. Anyhow.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we got going today. Isn't it fun? Isn't everything going great?
Everything's going great.
All right, let's get out of here, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon. Later.
Late.
Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.